Hello everyone, and welcome to our Cosplay live stream with me, your host, Iron Warrior Cosplay. I'm just going to get straight into it because, music off, we have something very, very special just to announce. And I'm really excited for it because it happens once a year, every year, on the 10th of December. That's right. October even. Sorry, my apologies. On the 10th of October. I know it's the 9th today, but tomorrow I have something very, very special happening. And it is... It's the Space Marine's birthday. The Iron Warrior is 9 years old, everyone. He's gonna be 9. That's right. The Space Marine, the Iron Warrior himself, turns 9 years old. This is an older picture. But, yes, that's right. The Iron Warrior turns 9. I am over the moon. Almost a decade. Almost 10 years since I built the Iron Warrior. How crazy is that? It's mental to think that it's almost been 10 years. The fact that I'm telling you this now. Oh, wait, hold on. Is that showing up on screen? Does a random white box appear around my face, by the way? Let me know if it does, because if it does, it's my camera. But yes, after 9,000 years, you have slumbered. So, let's start off properly. Mr. Titan with the 19 months. Thank you so much. Iron within, iron without. Time to get the hammer and get the cosplay making out. That's awesome. I love that. Gin Blitz, how you doing? Comrade Busman. Busman, do you remember? Comrade Busman. Love you, Busman. Thank you again, Mr. Titan, for being here. Diabolical Props is here. Well done, well done. How you doing? And Flash. Hello, how you doing? The Judge Dredd identifies... Yeah, I know, right? So hold on. What I'll do, I can flip my back, and I can tell it to stop doing that. So hold on. That and that. Okay. And then fingers crossed. It shouldn't do it again. Awesome. It is telling me repeatedly, there's no SD card. I'm like, I know there isn't. I took an SD card out because otherwise you'll fill it up with just me streaming. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't happen for the rest of the stream. I'm not sure why that's happening. I turned that off a while ago. But anyway, so yeah. It's Space Marine's gonna be 9 years old. 9 years old. Also, just to make sure that I do it now rather than later on in the stream, I believe it's coin. Better be coin, otherwise I've just typed. Yes, it is. There you go. Awesome. 9 years. Now, what I'm going to do, what we are doing for tonight's stream, is we are going to be going through the story of the Iron Warrior cosplay. When I say the Iron Warrior cosplay turns 9, by the way, yes, the suit turns 9, but not only that, I as a cosplayer sort of thing. I've been cosplaying since I was like 17. And that's a fairly decent amount of time. But I started doing steampunk and then Ghostbuster and then carried on. But the Space Marine, when the Space Marine was built, that's when the cosplay page started. So the cosplay page started essentially the same time the Space Marine started. So, you know, the cosplay page started just before I went to the event to build the Space Marine. It's all going to come into its own. You guys will see in a moment. We are going to talk about the Space Marine and everything. We are going to turn the music down a little bit. Bear with me. Just got to turn that down a little bit. Yes, you're going to learn some history. Actually, let's turn the music off for this stream. This stream we're going to have the music off for a bit. You guys are going to be able to hear me a bit more clearly. And we are going to start off with some screen sharing. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do this. There you go. Now, I'm in the bottom corner here, nice and small, because I want to be out of the way of all the pictures. I've left you guys here. I might make you a bit smaller later on, depending on how things go. But right now, this is it. I'm very happy. So, let me actually see if I can combine Let me just combine you guys super quick. Where are we? Interact filters, properties, order, blending scale. Can you? I thought you could group them. I genuinely thought you could just. There you go. Group selected items. There we go. Chat. There we go. So chat is now a group. That's awesome. I've returned with T. Stilts. Yes. Now, this is the history of Iron Warrior Cosplay, and I'm down here nice and small. I'm gonna make myself a touch bigger. Fuck it. Why not? Make myself a touch bigger so you guys can see me. This photo. Ignore when you're on the album's different. Ignore the album. I uploaded them after, but this is where I started posting. So, this photo was taken on the 11th of August, 2016. Okay? Now, this pair of stilts, right, were given to me essentially, and I had to learn how to walk on them. It took a while. These are what they call Dura stilts or plastering stilts or drywall stilts, as Commander Busman said. Sorry, Comrade Busman. So these basically had to be attached to everything, and like I said, we'll slowly go through everything as we go. So let me get my keyboard. So this is what I did. I had a pair of drywall stilts, a pair of Dura stilts, a pair of plaster stilts, whatever you want to call them. A pair of stilts, okay? I then went to Halfords. Okay, now Halfords is the equivalent to, let me just get another tab open. Halfords is the equivalent to, what in America? What would be in America that's the equivalent of, where would you guys in the US get like building materials? Lowe's? Is that a building place? I don't know for sure because I don't really know much. Walmart, maybe Walmart. Walmart is more of a like not like a B&Q, I wouldn't think. I don't think it's like a B&Q. Maybe it's like a B&Q. Like yeah, like Blick Art Supply has HD foam. Not so much not Blick Art Supply. You can go there. You can buy car light bulbs. You can buy spray paints that match your car. You can buy car batteries, roof racks, things for your car. You can buy bicycles. You can buy oils. You can buy screen wash. You can buy things like that. Tools, things for cars, like Home Depot, maybe Lowe's. Fair enough. Well, I went to my local Halfords, which is in Carmarthen. I went to my local Halfords. And I basically walked up to the guy and was like, hey, I would like to buy some of your 1200 by 1800 floor matting, right? And these are floor mattings, as you can see here. There's like a person lying down on under a car. There's a kid playing some games and stuff. They go on the floor to give you a bit of spongy sort of stuff or whatever, right? And I bought 3 packs. I thought 3 packs, not a problem at all. 3 packs should do. It's a little bit expensive, but whatever. 3 packs. I needed 3 packs. Done and dusted. This will be explained a little bit later, by the way, about what happens, right? Then I went out and bought a ream of paper. Now, I decided to buy 100% recycled because recycling is good. And when I bought the recycling thing, I bought some ink cartridges. Actually, hold on. There you go. I bought some ink cartridges. Two packs, which were not exactly cheap because expensive in the UK for ink cartridges. It's a scam. I genuinely best deals in the US for floor mats, Harbor Freight. There you go, like Harbor Freight and stuff. Yeah, these were the same. I think these were like $8.99 for 6. I think. Let me go back. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you get 6 for like $8.99. So I bought the paper. Didn't really mind what weight it was. I just bought 100% recycled, and it was super cheap. I was really happy with that. And then I took to doing what a lot of cosplayers who want to cosplay as a space marine start doing and then stop. So I'll do a little tangent here. Let me just sort something out. Sorry. This cable is not right. There we go. So, David Roth, ex to Cosplay, I'll be mentioning him quite a bit. David Roth, ex to Cosplay, was the man who got me into being a Space Marine and everything. That will come later as well. But you need to know that when you are cosplaying as a Space Marine, people will come to you and go, hey, how'd you build your Space Marine? It got so busy for me with all the messages I was getting after I built the Space Marine, even the Mark 1 with the really bad Mark 1. The Mark 1 version of my suit, not Mark 1 Space Marine Power Armor, just to make that clear. It got really bad with the messages. I had a lot of people messaging me daily, like 10 to 15 people a day. So I made a little copy-paste thing I could just copy and paste to them. And it was typed out. It was like, "Hi there, my name is Ira Cosplay. This is a copy paste message. Whatever. If you're interested in building your own Space Marine, please follow these links." And there was like a link to Heinrich Pillerud, who made the original Space Marine. I call him the father of all Space Marines, because he's literally the man who made the original files, like the very first files. He's the one who made them. God damn, you're so funny, Diabolical. I love you. He made the original files for it, and he put them on the RPF, the roleplay forum. And he was giving them out to people who build their own Space Marines. Not many people had. Not many people had at all. But a few people had. And one of them was Mr. David Roth. He built himself a Corn Berserker. More photos and stuff coming up soon. I'll show you guys that in a bit. And he told me a while ago, obviously, a long time ago, almost 9 years now, 9 years tomorrow, that he gets a lot of people asking him, including myself, asking, "Oh, hey, I want to build a Space Marine." When they get to the point where they have to print it all out, tape it all together, cut it all out, and make it, that's where they stop, and he'll never hear from them again. So what he did with me, which was really nice of him, he was go, "Here are the files. This is what you do. Get back to me when you've done it." That kind of thing, right? And it was awesome. Well, after doing this, I printed out everything. This is everything. It doesn't look like a lot. These are stacks of paper, like a good chunk of paper. That ream of paper, that one there with 500 sheets, majority of it was gone. The majority of those 500 sheets were gone. Just done that. Tom does stuff. How you doing? Welcome. So at this point, then you have to start putting things together. Now, this has all been scaled. This was all fine. This is essentially what I was building first of all. Now, if you have a look here, each of these squares here on Pepakura represents a sheet of A4 paper. Now, this particular helmet, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 13 sheets of paper for the helmet. Now, just making it absolutely clear, you don't have to do single sheets of A4 paper, but I don't have a giant ass printer. And at the time, money was a bit tight and I wasn't prepared to go to a printer's and go, "Hey, here are Pepakura files that I've converted to PDF. Can you print them all at this exact scale for me on giant sheets of paper?" It would have cost a lot of money. It would have just been something I couldn't do. So I did it all myself. This is what like one sheet will look like. And this is part of the helmet. This is like the base of the helmet. Then you've got like the top and the sides and everything like that. Now they're all separated. So you've got to then tape them all together. Really funny, by the way, something I genuinely want to tell you because I've just noticed this. This photo, do you see this photo here of this monitor with the little like blood droppy thing there? This is an old LG monitor. This is one of my first like widescreen monitors, the first big monitor I ever got. It's currently my middle monitor here down in the workshop, almost 10 years on now. I bought this not that long ago, as in not that long before doing this. So that's what I was doing, and I genuinely love it. By the way, if that white square keeps appearing, please let me know. It's still appearing. Okay, cool. Hopefully, I've fixed it by clicking OK. Fingers crossed. Let me just see. No, it's good. Okay, cool. Let me know if that white square appears. That monitor is still the same monitor I'm using here. And I'm genuinely over the moon that it still works. Don't get me wrong. It is dying and has been for many, many years. But it's still going. Anyway, so this is what it looks like. And then it's time to play Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, because you're going to be building a space marine. Then you have to start taping everything together. Now, please bear with, because do you see these lines here? These are meant to be overlapped. What you normally do, and what I've explained in my tutorials, is you'll hold the sheets up to a light, and then you can just put them over each other, and you can put a piece of tape on there, and then they'll line up perfectly. A lot of these you will see I have not lined up perfectly because I wasn't fully aware that that's what you had to do. I thought you had to just join them near each other, like I've done here. So there's like a tiny gap there, a tiny gap there. So it's not really the best, but it is what it is. By the way, is everyone still in chat, by the way? Because I'm worried I've just got a message from... No, it's okay. Don't worry. Someone just said they're in chat. I thought chat was broken. Right. Anyway, that is... Sorry, it's okay. By the way, you don't have to talk. You don't have to chat. I'm happy to just tell you the story. Sit and listen if you like. It's no problem at all. That is me with the very first piece of a Space Marine that I ever cut out. Look at him, so happy and young and full of hope. All good? Awesome. I had to tape together a clone marine pattern, and that was painful. Can't imagine how this was. You have no idea. You'll see. You'll see. Believe me, you'll see. So with that, I got told, don't build your Space Marine helmet out of 10mm. Use 5mm instead. So I had to buy some 5mm. This is just like the gist of like me cutting stuff out. And there's me with 2 rolls of 5mm that I bought that were also floor matting. Now, since then, obviously, I know floor matting isn't the best thing to do. Okay? But I thought that's what foam was. I thought foam was just floor matting. I thought that's all it was. I don't know whether back in 2016 there were companies selling foam, like foam. I don't know. I never looked up. So, But anyway, I bought the things I needed. I bought 2 knives, £1.50 each, super cheap. Like I said, try and get stuff cheap. This is my friend Bracken. You guys have seen him on stream before. He popped over and helped me tape some stuff together. I was really, really pleased. This is a giant art folder I got off my sister, and I put the little piece of paper in it that says Big Bastard Space Marine. And we took to taping everything. This, for example, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, 10. That is 10, okay? There's 10 sheets of A4 for just the outside shell of the Space Marine shoulder. Believe me, the whole suit took almost 500 sheets of paper. It's beyond. Roughly the same face I made when I made the High Court of my Creek. Oh, I tell you what, making fabric is so... Hats off to you for doing fabric, by the way. Welsh is Lothian of Europe. I love that. Would also stop aging if I moved to the Welsh. Yes, you would. You'd stop aging, yeah. I haven't stopped aging. My beard just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. If you look at the bottom left of your screen, you will see a slightly older, more subscribed Iron Warrior with even more hope and joy for Ghost. Yes, there is. There's a lot more. I'm very, very happy. Thank you so much. So cutting out parts, being really chuffed. There's Bracken helping me cut stuff out. There's the back of the helmet. These are the knees. There's so much here that I had to like gently fold some of them up and put them in the folder and stuff like that. But I also, as you can see here, okay, the Pengler, how you doing? Also, you can see here as I've written everything on them. Foot, like shin, shoulder, foot. I've written everything, so I know all the ones that say foot go together, so like that can make a foot. All the ones that say shoulder go together make a shoulder. I still have this folder. Now, this is where things get more complicated and bigger. This is like half of the chest. That is the belt. That's the belt that goes around the Space Marine. This is it. There it is. I had to get this. I'm so happy. I've shown this in a stream before, bear with. So, I bought this heat gun on the 10th of September 2016. And here it is, still going to this day. Still works. This is my 2000 watt Wheels and Bits heat gun. It's called Wheels and Bits. Lightweight, easy operation, hot air heat gun. And I still have it. The only thing I've changed on this is the switch. The switch is broken twice. The first time it broke, I changed it over to that big red switch that you all thought was hilarious. And then I changed it over to a smaller switch, which broke pretty much immediately. And then I replaced it with this one. And then this one works way, way better. Can't believe this still works and runs. This sheath here. So this piece here can come off, but over the years it's rusted on. So this bit here at the front and this bit in the middle are permanent on the gun. That's it, you know. It's just insane. But anyway, yes, sorry for those of you who have just joined us. That is Tom Does Stuff in the Pengler. We are talking about the very first time the Iron Warrior was built, because tomorrow Iron Warrior Cosplay turns 9. The Space Marine turns 9, and this whole thing, Iron Warrior Cosplay as a whole, turns 9. Almost a decade. It's insane. I've been cosplaying since I was 17, but doing Iron Warrior Cosplay has been almost a decade, and I'm going through how I did everything from start to finish, just talking about the stories and stuff, and I can't wait. Yes, 2 weeks to MCM. Can't wait to MCM. Looking forward to seeing you. Now, remember, do you remember this? This, after a while, turned into this. This is the 10th of September, and it was day 3 of taping and cutting everything. I typed this. This is what I typed. I typed, day 3, paper cutting. Dear diary, my never-ending struggle continues as with each snip, I get closer and closer to my goal of achieving perfection. David warned me of this pain. Remember I told you about David telling me, look out, this is going to be the worst part. He warned that the dark gods would test me once of patience. Would test every ounce of my patience, sorry. I grow ever so tired with each passing hour. The only thing that keeps me going is knowing that tomorrow is Sunday, where the dinner of Sunday is traditionally cooked. I pray for meat and potatoes. I must continue, for I must complete this task. From iron cometh strength, from strength cometh will, from will cometh faith, from faith cometh honor, from honor cometh iron. The unbreakable litany of the Iron Warriors Traitor Legion. And yeah, it was true, because I kept going, and this is my first delivery of glue sticks. There's 400 in each pack, and that is my first order. I ordered 6 or 7 more packs after that. Don't even. I tried to full screen YouTube's live chat, but got completely bugged for several minutes. Such a stable platform. Be warned, don't full screen. Don't full screen if you don't want to. If you want to full screen the stream, you're welcome to. But obviously, if you want to full screen just to chat, I don't know how that works. So I'm not really sure. I haven't tried it personally. This is a funny little story. The way I was talking to you guys the other day about my tractor, and I was saying my tractor, the vintage tractor stuff, restoring machinery and all that kind of thing, that is my passion. That is my passion, and cosplay is my hobby. Well, here's what's really funny. This is where the two of them sort of clash and collide, where I was buying some parts for not this tractor, but for a tractor, and I got told, hey, I've got this agri-coat, as you can see there, agriculture industrial, like paint, 5 liters. It was meant to be Ford blue, but when they sent it to him, it was liquid gloss black. I needed some spray paint, but I thought that's going to take a lot of cans. I ended up painting my Space Marine with a paintbrush. And with that being said, I got this not for $29.25 excluding VAT. I got this for £10. Got it for a whole tenner. Got it for a tenner. And I used this as the base layer for the Iron Warrior after Thompson's 10-year roof sealer. Back with coffee. Did I miss Thompson's roof seal? No, not yet. I've literally just mentioned Thompson's roof seal, but not yet. You'll see. Here are some nuts and bolts, some hardware and stuff like that for things I needed to install in the Space Marine. These 2 fucking cans here just crystal clear acrylic spray fucking coating. Don't buy it. Don't ever buy it. If you ever see this brand, this fucking can, don't buy it. It's the worst stuff ever. Ruins your paint, ruins the foam, melts stuff, doesn't work. Ignore it. We don't need it. This now is the first ever picture I took, obviously, of me putting foam, a pattern even, to foam. Right? Now, with that being said, it wasn't like, super easy, but you can see there I've done the best I can. I used pins and some weights, which were like the sellotape holder and stuff, and drew around it as best I could. I'm also, by the way, planning on doing a video next year before he turns 10. And I want to do a whole video on how the Space Marine was created with all the photos and long descriptions. It's going to be like a long video, but I was thinking of doing it in parts. So edit the video essentially and just do parts. Every time we talk about Thompson's 10 roof seal, I could swear you say 10-year rather than... Thompson's 10-year roof seal. I know, because I say 10-year roof seal really quickly, and it sounds like 10-year. So, foam cutting, make sure you get the lines all the way up where you need them. That's how I was doing it. So, from that to that. More cutting, trying to utilize as much foam as possible using the paper templates and stuff. Making sure it's like inside, make sure I pin everything properly, get it all laid out and everything, get it all done properly. Don't know what happened to that photo, but it did. There it is, my first ever glue gun. My first ever glue gun. Lasted years. So I made sure I bought another one. It's the exact same maker, model, and brand. It's called Cheap Chinese Glue Gun. Remove the orange tip and you'll be fine. That's how I've always done it. First ever glue gun. Worked a fucking charm for years. Loved it. So yeah, are you going to celebrate? Hopefully, fingers crossed. Right here, we have plywood. Now, the plywood is for the feet of the Space Marine. Now, you probably see these are numbered. 1, 2, 2, and 3. Sorry, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 3. 4 and 4. Because they're sandwiched. The way we do, or used to do, platforms for Space Marines was you would go a piece of 10mm foam that's cut into one piece, 2 pieces of plywood separated with a little gap in the middle, another piece of 10mm as a whole, and then another 2 pieces of ply to make the bendable sort of structure for you to bolt things down to, right? This is the top of the stilt. I had to move it all the way back because I have size 12 feet. And this is like my first test. Now, before you say anything, I know the stilts are on back to front. This is the back. This is the back here. These are the front, so they need to be turned around. So these photos are incorrect. But this was me just putting them on top of the pieces of wood. So these two should be just flipped around and then moved like that. Anyway, so that's what they look like. I cut them out of plywood with a jigsaw. And then some fabric arrived that I wanted to use for like the joints and maybe even a cape. And here are the different lengths of bungee cord. And these are my extra large paintballing gloves that to this day, I'm still using that pair. And you want to know the funny thing? This thing that makes it the funniest thing ever? Back in 2016, the post actually says, temporary glove until I find a better one. It was like, temporary glove until I find a better one. Continues to use it for the next fucking 9 years. I swear down. I swear down to you. No, it's okay. They get clean. I don't just sweat in them and then... Better one never found. You're not honest. Don't even. Nothing's more permanent than a temporary solution. You're serious. I'm not even kidding. It's so fucking funny. So, I kept the same pair. I still haven't found a decent replacement. I will at some point. I haven't found the perfect glove yet. There are plans. I'm probably gonna make my own one at some point. But right now, this is what I've been using, and I've been using it. I've been using it for the longest time. It's so fucking funny. They got spray painted, they've been ripped, they've been stitched back together like 10 or 20 times. It's so funny. I really do either need to get another pair of these or just a better glove, like better pair of gloves. Oh my god, I tell you. But no, they do get washed. They don't just get repeatedly used, they do get washed. Anyway, so fucking funny. I went back to Halfords because I then realized, shit, I don't have enough EVA foam. With that being said, though, I went back to Halfords, and I walked in and said, "Hey, I only have one of these. I picked up this top one here, this top one here, right? I picked up this one, and I said, "Hey, you guys only have one. Can I have the rest of it? How many more? Do you have any more in the back?" And he goes, "Oh, I think we have one or two more in the back." I was like, "Sure, no worries." And he goes, "Oh, we've got 4 more packs." I'm like, "Cool. I'll take your entire stock." He was like, "Well," I was like, "Everything. I'll take everything." Oh, okay. And I was like, "Yes, all of it. I want every single bit of it." So I bought all of it and put it in my car. And I was like, "Brilliant. That's it." Head back to the house and start doing stuff. Now, at this point, it was like, I'm getting so much prepared to build this thing. I was getting really nervous because I'd never built anything from foam. You need to remember, though, when I started doing cosplaying, it was steampunk. It was only steampunk. It moved on then to my Ghostbuster, but again, a lot of that was bought. It was bought. Our cosplay, was this back before the Vampire Story? No, this was before the van. This was before my first van. This was my second car. This was my second car. This was a Hyundai. It was a Hyundai Getz, or a Hyundai as they call it now. A Hyundai Getz 1.1 GSI. I remember it to this day because it was like one of my favorite cars, other than my very first one. Oh, you use that for your chainsaw as well? Yeah, it is good stuff. I just don't like the texture on the other side. It's why I just use cosplay foam now. Although it's not really cosplay foam. I buy it from the manufacturer instead. It's easier. My pistol and chest box. You do the out of the same foam. It's the best, literally it is. Unless you have like a belt sander if you want smooth both sides. But if you don't care and you just want it inside, then it's no problem. The deep lore, absolutely. You made that when I was in my Mark II Titan cosplay. Yes, I did. That's exactly when I made it, actually. This was Iron Warrior cosplay, property of Iron Warrior cosplay, property of Dovra Griffiths. That's my name. And this toolbox here is this toolbox here. Now, I don't want you guys to think, oh, Iron Warrior cosplay is a fucking tight ass. He didn't buy himself another. I've bought myself another toolbox since. This big red one, see the big red one back here, the one I take to conventions and stuff? That's my convention toolbox now. This was my convention toolbox. This toolbox now is my electronics toolbox. This has all my wiring and electronics and stuff in it. This has all my LEDs and stuff in it. My electrical tape and all that jazz. That's what this is now. And I look after stuff. I really do. If you look after your stuff, believe me, you will. I knew it. There we go. If you look after your tools and props and stuff like that, they'll look after you. This thing has been with me, like I said, since 2016, and it's still going. Always look after your tools, and they'll look after you. This here is part of the arm. This is, you'd be surprised, there's parts of the arm, for example, this and this at the top of the arm. This is part of the chest. This is part of like the back of the chest. Right here where this joint is, I was told try and cut those off and glue them together. But I liked the jigsaw part to glue in, and I felt it was more secure. I felt like the jigsaw would hold better, and it does, but it also looked really ugly. Masking tape, one of the first masking tapes I've bought. I've bought 850,000 since. Lead belcher. Back in the day, lead belcher. I bought 1 can because it was, even 2016, it was fucking extortionate. And this paintbrush. Oh my god, hold on. Look after your tools and they'll look after you. This is this. Hold on. See, it says fit for the job. There you go. Fit for the job. It's on here. It says fit for the job. 4-inch, 100mm. Still got it. Still works to this day. This paintbrush here is the paintbrush I painted my entire Space Marine with. I used this to paint the Thompson roof sealer. I used this with a roller to get rid of the brush lines. I used this to dry brush my Space Marine. The silver you see on the tip of the brush here, the silver you see, is the original silver used to dry brush my Space Marine. And it's also the paint I used to do the black. So paintbrush I used to do the black. So still have it. Look after your tools and they'll look after you. Now then. Lead Belcher, my can has gone bunk. What's gone bunk? Is it buggered, is it? I don't even know if I have any more. I don't think so. I use Colourforge now because they're an affiliate. Because I'm an affiliate. This is my quick drying metal paint. Again, I would go to like shops, B&Q, things like that and whatever, and try to find the cheapest paint I could find. And I thought, if I get high gloss, it'll be really good. But it's metal paint. But it doesn't really matter. It goes on top of Thompson roof seal or foam or whatever. Luckily, it doesn't crack. But thin layers. Thin layers. And this is the quick drying metal paint silver that I used to dry brush the Space Marine. And that is it for the folder of like me buying things to put the Space Marine together. Okay, so let's go on to part 2. I need to grab a specific album super quick because it's actually part of it. So let me just go down and find London Film and Comic Con. London Film and Comic Con. Exeter, Cardiff, Stars of Time. Where is it? Bear with me. It's a non-cosplay event I did, as in it was cosplay, but I wasn't cosplaying. I was working. Where the buggery is it? I will find it. Bear with me. Yes, you understand. There's a lot of folders. It's a lot of folders. I've done a lot of events over the years. Mental amount of events. Where is it? London. London MCM October. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. Dragon Days, no. I'm worried about no. Where are you? Cardiff. No. Wasn't that one? Wow, sorry about this. I have like 5 other albums open, but not the one I actually need. So if you give me 2 minutes, I can see chat moving. I will. What's Birmingham MCM? Birmingham MCM is nice. I just don't like Birmingham. Birmingham MCM is genuinely really nice. I just personally dislike Birmingham. I've been there, and every time I've been there, it's not been pleasant. So, no, not the best, but it is what it is. Everyone has different experiences, and every time I've been to Manchester, it's been a bad one. And I go there all positive, being like, no, this time it'll be fine. And it isn't. It's just not good. I'm going to type in London. Fingers. Oh, hold on. Might as well type in London Comic Con, see if that comes up. No. I know I have the images and stuff from the the photos and stuff from it, but I'm a little bit worried it might not be on my cosplay page, and it might actually be on my personal page. Damn, I thought I had everything ready too, and I only just realized. I only just realized that I will most likely need to find this folder before I carry on. There was... Hold on. Not that one. Here we go. Hold on. Right, we're getting closer and closer to the events I used to do. God, these events were mental. Actually, I type in... Okay. Damn! I thought I had photos from that, and I probably do, just not in an album. And it was in London. It was a London Film and Comic Con. I was in Master of Ceremonies for the cosplay competition and stuff, and it's where I met Mr. Titan for the first time, I believe. But let me see. Oh, I know. Hold on. I'll try this keyword because I haven't done spotting for a long time. And there's only a few times I've been a spotter myself. And one of them was in London from Mr. David Roth. Weather Hill. The bloody hell. Hold on. This is insanity. Well, I do apologize, guys. I really thought I could find it, but unfortunately, I don't think I have it. I might have to check my own personal Facebook page super quick, just to see whether it's on there. If it is, I might have to move it over. Right, here we go. Personal page. This is another reason, by the way, I wanted to sort of do my own full video about, you know, how the Space Marine came to be and all that kind of stuff. Because I think the reason I didn't post London MCM onto my cosplay page was because I was like working it, if you will, instead of doing cosplay stuff there. So I thought, oh no, the cosplay stuff goes on my cosplay page, and I'm not doing cosplay, so I won't do it. But going back through my albums now, though, on my personal page, I can't find one where I'm working an event. Those are featured photos. Mic setup, barbecue, stuff. So weird. It's weird though. I'll tell you why it's weird. It's because I like worked at the event and I have photos of it, but I think I might have photos and not an album, because I wasn't an album making kind of person back then. Now make an album for everything because it's super easy to find stuff if it's in an album. Obviously if it's not in an album, kind of doesn't work. Power Fist. Okay. If not, then and I search the word Grey Knight. Grey Knight. If I search the word Grey Knight, then it might come up, because I also spotted for Mr. Dave Damon a little bit. Who was the Grey Knight at one point. Alright, cosplay. Not distract, but how really good. I actually saw them at Fantasy Forest recently, which was such an amazing event. Really, really fun to be at Fantasy Forest. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can go back again. If they'll have us, which I'm hoping they will. No, not that either. If I type in Damon. Dayman, fighter of the night man, champion of the sun. just so weird. It to me right now, it's feeling like a part of my like cosplay life has just gone missing. That's kind of scary to me because I have photos of like David Roth doing funny stuff with Dave Damon's Grey Knight arm, which he possibly dropped or left or fell off his van, but I don't know where it is. End. Okay. Maybe they're on my PC. Maybe I actually haven't uploaded them. Big arm. That might work. Or actually, oh wait, hold on. Get this, Mr. Titan. I've just typed in the word Titan because I believe, if I'm right in saying, I took a photo of you, possibly. Don't really know. Darth Vader then, because David dressed up in his Darth Vader space marine. No. Okay. God, there's no. I'm not gonna lie to you. Typing in David Roth to my cosplay page is just enough to make it explode because the amount of times David Roth has been tagged in and on my cosplay page is insanity. Oh man, live. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I can't. Oh wait, hold on. No, that's different con again. Different con again. Oh wait, no, different con. Sorry, I keep saying "ooh wait." It's just I'm trying to tell my PC to slow the fuck down. No. This is way back to the Dancing Space Marines now, which is after the suit was built, but still. Man alive, the Dancing Space Marines. That was. See, I consider the Dancing Space Marines to be a long time ago. Way before David did his. Nope. Okay. Cool. Never mind. Unfortunately, I can't find them. I have photos of when I was spotting for Dave Damon and David Roth and everything, and there was going to be some more stories in there about that. But instead, we'll carry on and I'll just explain the story in a different way. Not in a different way, like the same, but indifferent to what I wanted to do. So, music off. Back to the sharing. So, look at your DM. Bear with me, Mr. Titan. Bear with me. Please tell me it's stream relevant. Oh my god! Oh my god! Right, sorry, hold on, Mr. Titan. Let me just show. Hold on. Let me just show me first. There's me as an MC. I've got a microphone in my hand. Yes, I'm wearing a waistcoat and a shirt because I have to. And over here is Mr. Titan in his giant ass Titan cosplay. Holy crap. That is insane. Dude, if you have more photos, send them. I'll leave my Discord open. If you have more photos of us or the Grey Knight or whatever, or David Roth, let me know. Anyway, so we'll stop music for a bit. We'll go back to here. Right. At London Film and Comic Con, now I believe it's London Film and Comic Con. I need to ask David Roth just to confirm when I do my big video. But at London Film and Comic Con, the event finished, and because we were all working at the event and we were doing stuff, we got to stay around after the event was closing and stuff like that. And a chap approached David Roth and I, ex to Cosplay, and was like, hey, I'm running an event called Play Expo Manchester. Play Expo Manchester. And I like your big suit and stuff to David Roth and Dave Damon. And they were like, hey, do you want to come to the event, whatever? We were like, right, we'll be walking around and stuff, whatever. I wasn't really in. I was like, well, obviously, I don't have a big suit. You go and do your thing. But I had already started doing my suit and stuff. You know, as you saw, I'd already started cutting stuff out. I didn't glue anything. And I had loads of foam, and I had all this stuff in my room. And I was like, God, and I only had a little garage at the time to work in, and it was freezing cold. With 2 power sockets. And the guy was like, yeah. And David was like, well, we could do something at your event. We could like have an area and we could do something. What we decided to do was something that, in my eyes, or in my sort of memory of like the life that I've sort of made for myself doing this, that to me was the spark that started it all, right? I'm about to sneeze. I need to stop. I need to mute my microphone. No. Oh, almost. Okay. I'm unwell, by the way. I'm not well. I need to make that completely clear. I know I'm kind of energetic, but that's because I'm taking some tablets and I've drunk an energy drink and I'm kind of like... But I am not well. Anyway, you could probably hear it, but either way. David was like, how about we do something? How about we do the event? And we'll do something for you. We ended up calling it the Big Build Show. Like the Big Show, but the Big Build Show. What we decided to do, still can't believe to this day that we did it. We decided to build a set of Space Marine power armor in 2 days. Now, this isn't built, painted, perfectly working with the joints all sealed and everything perfect and all, you know, all the seals and iconography and everything on it. No, we're talking building a semi-wearable, recognizable set of power armor in 2 days. And we did it. The only thing we didn't do was the power pack. We didn't do the power pack. But we did it. This is the image I took on the 9th of October going to Manchester. This is my hire van. They hired me a van loaded with everything. I'm talking all my scrap foam, all the big pieces, all the small pieces. There's a bag with more foam in it. The giant stack of foam, the folder, this box here has all the knives and stuff in it. The folder with all the little parts in it, I still have that folder. The 2 rolls of 5mm, the box of like glues and spray paints and stuff. And this was taken outside the house, and this was taken at McDonald's in Carmarthen. There's me in the van. Look at him, so happy. That, my friends, is my very good friend, Mr. Marcus Springle. He is my very, very good friend. Me and him currently work together, too. Anyway, this is Marcus and me heading up to Manchester because I asked Marcus, hey, would you be so kind as to come with me to stay in a hotel and go to a 2-day event, completely free, to build a set of Space Marine power armor? And he agreed. During this entire trip, this entire weekend, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Marcus had a pregnant girlfriend at home who was ready to pop at any minute. And I was like, and you're coming up to Manchester? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what happens if your girlfriend like pops and it's time? And he was like, well, I have to find a way home. You'll have to take me back. Or lucky she didn't. But we headed up. Marcus took some cool photos. This is us. We arrived at Play Expo Manchester. Now, we arrived at Play Expo Manchester. And thank you, Mr. Titan. We arrived at Play Expo Manchester with my laptop, the piece of plywood, bits and bobs, and all the foam. This is a cage that we got given to carry stuff in. This is Marcus being a legend. This is him putting stuff on the table. And if you look closely, my guys, if you look closely, you will see something in this photo right here. Can anyone in chat tell me what that is? What does that say? What is that? You tell me what you guys think that is. It is indeed a tin of Thompson's 10-year roof seal, which I have right here. It's not the same tin. It's a tin, but it's not the original tin. Thompson's 10-year roof seal. It is there. I bought everything with me, even stuff I didn't need. I didn't know if I needed anything, so I thought I'd bring everything with me. We even brought these big Velcro straps that I used for the legs instead of the really horrible like straps that we had. And this is everything. This is legitimately everything. Just on the floor, ready for the event. It's crazy. How long was the triple drive? The triple drive. Let me have a quick gander. It was... It was 3 hours and 56 minutes. 3 hours and 56 minutes to get from where we were to Manchester. Now, this is when we got there. This is, I believe, either the 8th or the 9th. I keep forgetting because, you know, I keep forgetting roughly, but I'll carry on. We had 2 tables. We had a little area right by the stage, and they were fair play. The people on the stage all day, we were telling them, hey, when you finish your thing, say goodbye and everything, plug yourself whenever, and right at the very end go, oh, and by the way, these guys are building a Space Marine. So, anyway, there it is, Tom Stanley Roof Sealer. Everything was ready to rock and roll, all ready. And something a bit weird, something a bit interesting and weird. Actually, hold on. Let me go back and I'll show you this photo here. Do you see this army tin here? That army tin had all of the knives. I decided to go nuts and I went to my local little CK's little shop at the top, and you could buy 4 or 3 or big ones and small ones, craft knives, like extendable craft knives for £1.50, and I bought them out. I took everything. I literally took all of them off the rack. I took the little hook off the rack, peeled them off, put the hook back on, put them in my trolley, and bought them all. And now, to this day, like today, now, I was tidying the workshop. My girlfriend and I are going around, and what do I find but a metal brown ammo tin? Now, in that ammo tin were all the knives and everything we needed, but I had 3 packs out of the tin because they couldn't fit in, and I had them with me in a secret bag so that people couldn't find them. They're hidden behind these pieces of plywood here, believe it or not, in a little black bag. And we used those. We used 13 or 14 knives altogether, craft knives and stuff, extendable ones. Since then, I used like better ones. But one thing, right? One thing. Let me just grab it. Because while me and my girlfriend were tidying the workshop, I found this relic. Okay? I found this relic. When I say relic, this thing had been lost for many, many, many years. Personally, I thought I'd lost this. I thought it was gone. I don't know whether someone had stolen it out of the van. Because what we did was we left the van open outside. We were running in and out of the venue to take stuff back in and put it in the van. I also had a Space Marine to put in the van too. And I thought someone had pinched it. I genuinely thought someone had stolen it. They didn't. I bought it back and it just went missing. Okay? And it's just gone. Now, I'm going to open this tin, right? And inside this tin, untouched by time, is a bunch of Cosplay craft knives. I'm not even kidding. This is full of packs of 4 and packs of 6 for £1.50. Remember I was telling you they were £1.50? See? I still have them. All of them. They're very old and dusty. I still have them. They're all here. I plan on using them, but it was a relic that got found. So you know when you find something, you're like, holy crap, I didn't know. I had no idea. Well, yeah, there it is. Piece of newspaper at the bottom of it, too. I'm trying to figure out what this newspaper is. Or is it just newspaper? I think it's just newspaper. If there's anything important. No. And I still, to this day, have this. Now, again, I don't want you to think that I'm a tight ass or a hoarder or anything, because I'd lost this. We found it. And it just so happens to be, I knew where it was under my big table, and it had come up, and it was part of the thing, so I thought I'd go get it for you. Now, day one. Day one. Get everything pinned and marked out. We were busy at it before the event even opened. We were starting, right? This was like 2 hours before the event opened. Marcus and I, 2 tables next to each other, flat out. And then David Roth turned up with his Corn Berserker, and there it is, the big build show. Wait a minute, just realized, not showing you guys the screen. Whoops. Okay, from where we were. Then we started putting stuff together before the event opened. This is the 2 tables butted together. This is me and my friend Marcus getting everything put together, getting everything ready. Then Exeter Cosplay turned up. So when David turned up, we got the big build show. This is where it all begins. The event had started to open, and it was time to get cracking. This is David Roth Exeter Cosplay, soon to be Iron Warrior Cosplay. Didn't have a name yet. Just had a page. I think it was just Space Marine Cosplay. And Marcus, my good friend Marcus. Again, some selfies. The night out, because we went and did a whole day. This is day 2, right? This is day 2. Now, day 2 was the day, essentially, right? Where it was, let's go, flat out, let's build this thing. I recently found something that I had thought I had lost ages ago, but I cannot for the life of me remember right now. Oh, man. But finding something like that for me personally was like quite a shock, because I was like, holy shit, I've missed this, and I've very much wanted to find it back when I lost it, but now it's like, oh well, I've lost it forever. And then when you find it again, it's like, how long will it take for Exeter to arrive at the stream now his name's been spammed? I don't think he will. I think he's busy, but I'll show him some clips and stuff whenever. It'll be a good laugh. So as you can see here, by the way, just to show you, there's foam, a piece of plywood, foam and a piece of plywood, and then the foot is bolted down to that. And this then is what you glue your boot to. So you're walking on that. So that way you can just walk and be confident. And that's where these toes, by the way, because of the foam in the middle, they don't bend badly. They bend upwards, but they don't like flop around. So it's really good. This is us busy. This is me trying on some masks, meeting some friends, doing all the stuff we need to do, meeting more cool cosplayers from Warhammer 40k. This is us building the boots. So what I did, enjoy. I will see you soon, my friend. How long did it take for Exeter? I'm off. Have a good one. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. This, by the way, okay. You stream it all if I remember. You stream it all if I remember. We didn't stream this. We didn't have the internet capacity, sadly. But right here is my laptop, and again, I've got it over there. This laptop still to this day looks exactly like this, except it's a lot dustier, and it still has that yellow tape on it. And right here was just me showing people, these are the parts on the paper. This is physically what it is. And it's crazy. It really, really is crazy, because being able to just build something like this over a weekend is mind-blowing to me. So this is the shins. By the way, can I just explain to you all, for the love of God, I have come away from building things with just hot glue. But back then, all I knew about foam crafting is what I was taught by David Roth, Exeter Cosplay. And what I was taught was, slap hot glue on it, it'll stick, you'll be fine. And there you go. This is David Roth. This is all of us having a good time. Some pictures of David. Me and another cosplayer. More pictures of David. More pictures of some friends and cosplayers. Absolutely love that photo. Really funny, by the way. This chap here in the middle is the man who wrote all the music for Tomb Raider. So, yeah, that's just something there for you, just a bit of random information. He even did, my friend Daniel Theophani did me some really cool Iron Warrior Cosplay scripture. So that was really nice. I thought genuinely that was really cool. And then we go to day 2. So day 2, sorry, that was day 1. Day 2 is the 10th of October. Okay? And this is basically what we had gotten up to. So as you can see here, we have the shoulders are done. One's like kind of curved. The other needed a bit of work. The chest was done. The back of the collar was done. That was cut down after because I wanted to adjust it. The shins and thighs, all the spikes and everything, and then the knees. Now, before anyone says anything, yes, I know the knees are upside down. We totally screwed up, and the knees are upside down. It is what it is. It happens. But yeah, they're upside down. It is what it is. I was building a Space Marine at an event, and I had never built anything with foam before. And instead of just doing it by myself slowly and taking my time doing it, I went to Manchester, and I was out of my comfort zone, and we built a Space Marine in 2 days with hangovers, by the way. Anyway, this is us flat out building space pants. This is us getting some like just temporary pieces of foam put in just to get stuff ready. By the way, if you're wondering what the plywood is so we didn't break the table because we were cutting a lot. So I used it as a giant cutting board. I didn't realize that the knees look fine as they are. I don't know. Oh, honestly, it's crazy because they're upside down, and I did eventually flip them around, but I'll show you guys some pictures soon. This is us having a good old time. There's the Space Marine stood very precariously. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Iron Warrior Space Marine. Now, this is what he looked like at the very end. I'm happy with how he looked. He was just stacked on top of each other. Looks like he's popping a squat. We didn't build the arms. We didn't build the... Oh, hello. Is stream still going? Wait, I have frozen. Hello. Oh. Hold on. Let me reactivate my camera. There we go. That was weird. Sorry about that. Don't know why that happened. Everything froze, but I can hear you. Is chat still going? Oh, yeah, chat's still going and everything. Good. It's just the camera that froze. Camera back. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened there. This is what the Space Marine looked like. This is what the armor looked like. We didn't do the arms. We didn't do the backpack. And we didn't do the inner collar. The inner collar being the large bit of foam that goes here because I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. So that is the COD P/us, and this is the Space Marine. There it is, my friend Mark Springle, David Roth, and me, Dover Griffith. This is us at the end of Play Expo Manchester with what I consider to be quite a pretty fucking cool build. And if you look over here, by the way, the shoulders are held on with these large glue sticks. Glue sticks like that long, and they're held in there. So yeah. And my little glue gun lasted the entire event, by the way, and it died, I think, 2 months after the event. But yeah, that is just some of the story, not everything. That is some of the story of the Space Marine build. Now, I believe I had an internet failure. No, it wasn't an internet failure. I'm not sure what happened, but all I know is that things just fucking died. But it is what it is. Anyway, so after that event, okay, so after Play Expo Manchester, I went home. Right? Obviously, I got to go home. I wasn't going to live in Manchester now that I built a Space Marine, so I went home. While at home, I got to quote-unquote refine my Space Marine and sort of, you know, fix him up to make him look a bit better, I guess. I'm just going to show you some stuff if I can find it. By the way, I do have this album, by the way, so I don't want you to think like, oh, he's going to spend another half an hour trying to find this, but I do have this album. That's not the first one. That's the first one. So, do you guys remember when I built my first bolter? Do you remember my first bolter? I've mentioned my first bolter before. My first bolter was made with what I had left over from Play Expo Manchester. I think I had 2 packs of foam. Left over, so 12 sheets, and I had some other bits and bobs left over too from, like, you know, the 5mm and the rolls of foam and everything. And I decided to build myself a bolter because I thought, well, the Space Marine needs a weapon. And I needed to make sure that I had the right one. And I wanted a bolter, not a bolt pistol. I did a bolt pistol after. My friend Andrew helped me with that, but I'm trying to find you just a picture of my bolter. Bolter. Right, okay. Bolter. Where's my old, terrible bolter? This is my first ever bolter, and I built it by myself in a sheer fucking panic. It was a panic of blood, sweat, and tears. That's a heavy bolter. Where's my bolter? That's my new bolter. Yes! Right. What? Hold on. $2017. That was weird. Unavailable. What? Oh my god, Facebook. What the fuck? I don't know what's happening. Facebook's been really fucking weird. Right, here we go. Hopefully this will work. There we go. Right. This. In 2017, I decided to build myself my first ever bolter. Okay? This is it. Hot glue, a mess of cuts and random bits of foam, and this weird cobbled together wood, tape, screws, danger to humanity. Look at it. It's an absolute mess. But anyway, that is my first ever bolter right there. That is my first ever bolter. I built that and I was so proud. So proud. Genuinely proud. Loved that bolter. Thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Then I decided to paint it up and everything. And when I took the Iron Warrior Space Marine, knees turned the correct way around. When I took the Iron Warrior Space Marine out for his first ever walk, it was at an event, and I got some photos taken. This was on the 21st of August, 2017. The 10th of October has been, by the way, 2016. And so October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. It took me 10 months. So remember what the suit looked like. Remember that big pile of foam with all the glue seams and everything like that, and the absolute mess that it looked? Remember all the glue and everything? Do you guys remember that? Keep that image in your mind. Because actually, I might as well just get that image up. I think I might as well just get that image up, just so it's, just so you've got that image like firmly burnt into your retinas, so that you can remember what it looked like. Because I have to remember what it looked like. Right, okay, all the way down. Plagues for Manchester. Where are you? Plagues for Manchester. Day 2. Yada, yada, yada. There you go. So, remember that is what the Space Marine looked like on the 10th of October, 2016. And in 10 months after that, this is what the Iron Warrior looked like. So it took me 10 months to take him from this to that. Now, you can see there's many problems. There's a lot of stuff that isn't right. For example, you can see this jigsaw piece here. These two random bits of ducting pipe I've got. There's no lip under here. You can see right under the chest. This Chaos Star was a mistake, but it's worked out very well since. You can see seam lines on the shoulder. Everything's super clean. There's barely any weathering on him. He's got not much detail. He's got a bunch of paint on him. There's different yellow on the gun and the belt and the shin. There's a different yellow here as well. It's a big jump from one to the other, right? I really appreciate that, by the way, Mr. Busman. Thanks so much. For a first go, it was good. But then taking this into consideration, taking this into this, you can see, for example, like this gap here at the very bottom of this piece here that we didn't glue properly. It's still kind of there, but I put some hot glue in it and just sort of smoothed it over. And now you got it. Now, one hell of a cosplay. Well, this is where I wanted to just do this. This is something quite cool I wanted to show you. I sort of preset this up because I wanted to sort of show you. Since building this Space Marine, from the same con, by the way, before you ask where this photo is from, I got more photos taken at this Comic-Con, back when I had a grenade. I have taken the Iron Warrior, right, from what you just saw, the fully built, painted, all the details and stuff added to it. I took him from that. That was what month? When was that? That was 2017, I believe. Was it August? October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, it was 10 months, so it's August. I then, from the, what was it, the 10th of August? Whatever. It was August. I took it from August 2017. This is October 2023. This is the difference now between my two cosplays. My one cosplay, but yeah. This is now the difference. This is black and white. This is night and day. Since this photo was taken, I've done a fair bit to my Space Marine, right? I've done a fair bit. And it's not often people get to see the comparison like this. That's why I really want to make this video. So, I'll explain a few of the changes, okay? The first change, starting from the feet, the first change is I cut a bunch of the stuff apart on the feet and re-glued them with contact cement and hot glue on the inside to hide a bunch of the bad seams. They're still not amazing, but it's the best I could do at the time. I've left them since and not touched them. The Iron Warrior has had a repaint. I went over him. I painted him. I've cleaned the seams on the shoulders up. I've sanded them back, filled them, sanded them, filled them. The chest has had hazard stripes put on it. The chains now hold a real cape rather than just being, these were just bolted into the foam at the back and they just looked cool. Almost like a necklace. Whereas this chain here actually holds the cape. The trim on this shoulder, which is this shoulder, but I've swapped them around since, has hazard stripes on it. I've painted the Chaos Star instead of just leaving it blank. The strip down the middle of the chest is still the same original strip. I've added this section here underneath. It's a piece of 5mm foam just to fill this gap here. I've changed the pipes to some smaller pipes because the big ones were getting in the way. I have changed the color by spray painting the loincloth, so the loincloth matches the warmer tones of the warmer hazard stripes that I've put on the suit since. I've completely changed the shins. I took these shins, completely tore them apart, threw them away, didn't need them anymore, and redid them. I've also redone the thighs. I sanded them down, added panel lining, changed them, got it all done. The backpack, believe it or not, in this photo here, there is no backpack. There's no backpack in that photo. Make myself a bit bigger again so you can see me. There's no backpack in the photo. You can see here, there's no backpack on him, just a cape. The helmet obviously has changed. The backpack has been put on and risen since. Another big change that I did was I took, if you look here, it's kind of hard to explain, but if I show you, it's better. Do you see how much of my arm sticks out here? It's about maybe 4 inches, 4.5 inches, 5 inches, whatever, from the bottom of the shoulder to the cuff. The very little amount. It's about this much. It's not much tall, right? Since then, you can see here, this is the shoulder, and this is the amount my arm sticks out now. What I did was I remounted the shoulders, lifted them, made them so I could actually rotate them, because this photo here, my shoulders are held on with wheels, casters from a chair. It's what David does, and they work really well for him, but they didn't work as well as I needed them to for me. I didn't have any rotation. I wanted the rotation, so Heinrich came into the picture, and I copied his design, and his design basically made it so that I can rotate my shoulders now. Yes, the Power Fist, obviously. Big addition. Power Fist, big addition. If you look here, this is my original little EVA foam grenade that I painted up, made myself out of a little pattern, little just tiny thing, just added some notches, and I inside it is a Coke can. I folded it over and glued it together. There's a Coke can inside it, and I accidentally glued the Coke can in and left it in. Here instead now I have a completely 3D printed grenade. It's huge and heavy. It's held on with cable ties. That was 3D printed by a very good friend of mine. I have since then on this thigh here, I have put a combat knife. I now have a bolt pistol. I also have a new bolter as well, but you know. The LEDs in the shoulders, there's LEDs in the backpack, there's LEDs along the collar as well, which I don't use often, but they are there and I do use them. A lot has changed. A lot has changed since I built my Iron Warrior Space Marine. And I'm happy with how, you know, it's turned out. I'm happy with the way it's turned out, how the Space Marine now looks compared to how it used to look. The changes I've done to him have been not super noticeable over the years, but when you show a photo like I just did, where it's literally night and day, where I go, this is what he looked like, this is what he looks like now. Just to fill a small gap in there, by the way, the Dura stilts, the stilts I had, the plaster stilts, we were at Sci-Fi Weekender and one of them broke big time, and it was not fun for me. It was quite bad. It broke before the Dancing Space Marines. I think it was before the Dancing Space Marines. I'm not sure, but it broke at Sci-Fi Weekender. One went stunk like that. The bolt sheared, and I fell. I didn't fall, as in it fell like that. So my one leg was up, one leg was down, and I was on the risk of falling over. Luckily, I had cosplay friends who helped me, got me out. I couldn't repair it. Went home, took them out, designed my own platforms, just went like that. I went downgrading from the height I was, which was like 8 foot something, to 7 foot something. So I'm 6'2", so I've gained essentially an extra, you know, well, what 6.2 to 7.3 is what I've done essentially. And you know, I've worked on him a lot. You know, the shield. Oh yeah, the shield. The shield is okay. I do want to rebuild the shield. If I do the shield again, it'll definitely be better than what I've done, what I did in the past anyway. But the Iron Warrior has been through, like I've said, a lot. He's been through a ton of changes. The backpack, for example, the backpack, here's an old photo for you. The backpack was originally, this is when I was building the backpack. You can see I had the tubes back then and my slippers. This is all hot glue and everything, and I did what I could to make the power armor look good. These here are polystyrene balls that I've cut the ends off of to make vents, and they just kept breaking because they're polystyrene. They would break, and they would like get bumped and broken, and it was really frustrating. So like I went and upgraded. I bought these are like display spheres. I super glued them and then hot glued the inside of them, then sanded it so it went all like, you know, I don't know what you say, like foggy, if you will. And then I primed them, sprayed them, did some detail painting on them to make them look like they've got some burns, mounted a nut and bolt, took the old polystyrene ones off, cleaned the hole, and mounted them on. And they've been on my Space Marine ever since. Those vents have been on him since 2018. This is May 2018. This is the kind of thing I try and show people and explain to people, is I am always continuously, constantly upgrading all the time. This happy chappy here I have a pattern for him on paper, and I would cut him out by hand. Now I just use my laser, even though it's really not a difficult pattern to cut out with a craft knife. But it is what it is. But yeah, so from my first outing to like Cardiff Film and Comic Con, here's another good example to show you. So if you look here, do you see how far my shoulder and my arm is here? This was like before I raised them to the height that they are now. And if I show you a photo, let me just, if I almost pressed the news button, you guys are about to get a news broadcast. Before that, let me just show you sort of where they are now. And get Facebook to load. Load, Facebook, load. Here we go. Right, okay, so where's picture of Space Marine? Space Marine. I'll zoom in because it's not the closest photo because I took it from a distance. There you go. And that's what it's like now. So you can see the arms have been extended and elongated. The shoulders have gone up. I've taken the piece off the top of the shoulders so it stretches out a little bit more. I still get like, oh, you've got T-Rex arms and stuff and jokes like that. Whatever. But yeah, my boy, he's been upgraded and changed and chopped over the years that he is. There's enough of him. There's like enough of the OG Space Marine there that I consider him being, top tier. For example, the chest, the backpack, the shoulders, all original. The cod piece, the thighs, all original. Just been, chopped and changed in terms of added detail. Added this, added a knife, added this, added that. Never actually taken off, rebuilt, and put back on. So there's no new patterns on him. The only new patterns are the shins. I've openly said that the shins are being changed, and that was it. I took him to MCM London. I've taken him to MCM London twice. Insanity. Taken him to Warhammer World a bunch of times. It was a lot of fun, and he's been, I'm going to say, well loved. He's been well loved. I've done a lot of work with him. He's been a labor of love, to say the least. And sometimes I've been like, I wish I'd never built him. Sometimes I've been like, yes, this is incredible. And other times I've been like, this is probably the best thing I've ever done in my entire life is build this Space Marine. I'm gonna open up one last image. Not quite like the ship of Theseus, not quite the ship of Theseus where there's new stuff added all the time and it's now a completely different ship. It's just the shins. The shins are different because what I did was I had the original shins. I changed the kneecap to a shield, like a different pattern. I loved that. And I thought it was way cooler. Changed that, but then was like, I'm going to change the shins completely. So they are the shins of a Theseus. You beat me to it, you bastard. They are the shins of a Theseus. So the shins have completely changed every time. The platforms inside are also Mark 3, Mark 4 right now, and they're fine. They're blocks of heavy-duty foam now. They're really, really good. Lightweight, and they're fun to walk around in. Spongy, too. But yeah, did we just become best friends? I love it. You guys are great. Jinx, you're diabolical. Did you just claim the ship of Theseus is a different ship at the end? Did you just claim to solve great minds? I believe it is because they've changed everything on it. It's no longer the same ship. Anyway, not gonna get into that. Let's get some music going. But just to say this as like a closer of this kind of for this story, is the Space Marine has been going for a long time. He is 9 years old tomorrow, so at midnight tonight, he's going to be celebrating his 9th birthday. Sorry, 9th birthday. I was about to say 10th. He's going to be celebrating his 9th birthday. And I'm just reflecting back on, everything I've done over the years and the amount of events I've done and the people I've met. I've met Dan Abnett. I've met Duncan Rhodes. I've met many cosplayers. So many cosplayers. I've met a bunch of different celebrities like Rimmer from Red Dwarf. I've met the cat from Red Dwarf. I've met Brian Blessed. in the Space Marine. There's a lot of people I've met. You know, what's his name? Robert England, aka Freddy Krueger. Yeah, there's a lot. I could keep name dropping, but I'm not going to. You know, I have. I've met Dan Abnett. Do you know what? You can you just for you. How loud's the music on stream, I wonder? I'm just gonna get a stream up on my phone super quick so I can hear how loud the fucking music is. Because I'm umming and ahhing about how loud I want it. Let me just go to my page. Let me just grab you this. Just for you. This is me and Dan Abnett. Me and Dan Abnett. Oh my god, fucking hands. Yeah, you guys have a look at that. He's a ledge, by the way. He loved the Space Marine too. I was very, very, very happy. Let me just mute myself super quick. I want to hear this so I can find out. There you go. I think that's better. There we go. I like that. That's good. I like that. I've never wanted the music to be like overwhelming or overpowering. So yeah, that's me. That's me and Dan Abnett. He's such a nice guy. Genuinely, he's such a nice guy. He was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible," and I showed him the Power Fist, and he was like, "Oh wow." That post got a lot of very angry comments. He was awesome. Oh, you go. There it is. Fucking hell. Right, it's the same photo, but I finally found the full size one. There you go. That's me down. So there you go. These are my old shins, but with the modified knees. I flipped them upside down, and there's a chain and stuff on them. And it's before I started adding all the crazy stuff to it. So this is, you can see here, this is me adding more and more slowly to the Space Marine all the time. As you can see, I've got red under my collar, red in the eyes, the LEDs stuff, red in the Power Fist. Yeah. So Ranger of Krieg took this photo, by the way. My boy, my bestie. He took that photo, and that's me and Mr. Dan Abnett. But yeah, he's a ledge, by the way. He genuinely really appreciated his time and him like taking the time to meet us all and us fanboying over him and everything. It was really nice. I don't know. Yes, he did. Horus Rising, No Fear. He did write a few. False. I believe he wrote False Gods as well. Actually, let me check. Let me see if he wrote False Gods. Did he write False Gods? Did Dan Abnett write? No, Gray McNeil. Gray McNeil wrote False Gods. My apologies. But yeah. So that's you know, Dan Abnett for you. So yeah, I've met a bunch of different like celebrities, minor celebrities, big celebrities, small celebrities. I've met a lot of people over the years, and it's been fucking awesome. And I do put it down a fair bit to the Space Marine, because they do tend to see the Space Marine and they go, "That's cool, I want a photo with that," and they come over and I'm just like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Celebrity or person celebrity, hello, oh my god, hi." It's just like, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, and yeah, it's worked a few times. It's very cool. You only just recently learned that Horus Heresy wasn't the author's name of the book series. Oh, you're so, I love it. I love that you've just gotten into Warhammer though. Really proud of you. So excited. Really happy you got into that thing. One more thing just to close off this portion of the stream. By the way, this is why it's a special stream, because there's this bit and then there's more. It's going to go on a little bit longer. How cool is that? But yeah, this, just to tie it all off, this is my Iron Warrior Space Marine. This is what he looks like. He has been a labor of love for many years. The streaming, the backdrops, the good and the bad and the ugly. And it got to the point where I had done a lot of events with him, and I was slowly coming off some events and not doing as many and trying to focus on building more stuff. Obviously, COVID happened. Ranger of Krieg and I were at events at the time, and this is how I explain it. I'm going to be just real for a second, just a bit like honest. We were at an event, and things on the news and stuff. I remember looking at my phone before we left. We were just scrolling through Facebook and stuff. There was kind of like there was like, oh, there's some shit going down in China, and everyone was just kind of like, people were unwell and dying, and there was like a virus, and there was something going wrong and whatever. Then it hit the UK, and it became a whole fucking thing, and the first lockdown and everything, and the 2 years essentially of no events, and then the events coming back and then being very slow and having to put signs out and barriers and telling people they can't touch anything because if you touch it you can get COVID and all this kind of stuff, and it got difficult. But what I decided to do was come down to my workshop and burn myself out for about 2 months straight, and burnt myself out big time, building props and doing stuff and streaming and trying not to just do the worst. It got pretty bad. But with the Space Marine as a project and things that I could do to the Space Marine while I was in lockdown and while I wasn't able to leave, I had all my foam, I had all my stockpile, I had all my glue and everything, and it was just get on with it, do it, crack on, enjoy cosplay and stuff. And for 2 months straight, I just worked and worked and worked and burnt myself out, and it was not nice. It was bad, but it wasn't. I was about to say like it wasn't the end of the world. For some people, it was. For some people, it literally was the end of the world. People were literally dying. Families were being torn apart. People weren't being able to see each other. And it wasn't nice. And during this time, I was still at home, and it was just 2020. Like for example, hold on, if I go, like for example, if I get like an exact date, when was it? It said 29th of January. January 31st, 2019 to the 29th of January 2022 was the first lockdown. I believe it was December 2019. Yeah, soon after, other areas of Asia and the worldwide hit early 2020. There you go. While in lockdown and shit like that, your boy did something interesting, I guess, is to say the least. I decided the Space Marine has been a lot of fun. It's time for me to sort of move on and try something new, something different, something not as big, not as cumbersome, not as difficult to walk around in or difficult to get in and out of events or that kind of thing. I ended up, bear with me, trying to find this particular photo. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. I decided to make my very own Deathcore of Krieg cosplay. Ranger of Krieg was a big, massive, huge push for me to do this. It got to the point where I obsessed over this. Obsessed over it. It was, oh my god, what is wrong with my camera? There is something wrong with my camera. Please hold. My camera is not doing well, and I'm a bit worried because it's been playing up a little bit. 2 seconds. Okay, bear with me. Here we go. Hopefully that's fixed it. Sorry about that. I don't know what's been happening to it. It's not getting warm at all. Weird. Um, so, like I was saying, I built my Deathcore Krieg. Harry, Ranger of Krieg, my best friend, he was a huge push for me to do this. And I built a lot of it in days and worked on stuff and then made tutorials and sort of tried to keep myself busy enough that I didn't just go absolutely insane. But then, I started getting I got the job at the cinema. I was in the View and I was working at the cinema for a bit. And things started to roughly get back to normal. And since then, things have been semi back to normal. And I am still cosplaying. I'm busy cosplaying as my Deathcore of Krieg. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And I've been focusing on him a lot because he's a new cosplay. And, it's been easier for me to do a lot more with him than I have been with the Iron Warrior. The Iron Warrior hasn't, been out at all in 2025, to be completely clear with you. 2025 came and there were no events for him. There was just nothing. No one wanted to hire me to go to an event. It was just not happening, essentially. I haven't worn my Space Marine for pretty much a year. And that, before COVID, was unknown to me. I would wear my Iron Warrior pretty much every weekend. And to not wear him for a whole year has been difficult, to say the least. Hopefully 2026, I'm like I said, I need to fix the Power Fist. There's a bunch of stuff I need to do to that. There's some props I want to build. I need to get him back off the shelf. I need to get him. There's a lot of stuff I need to do to him before I can get him back up and running. He's still a big part of my life and a big part of the cosplay scene for me in terms of like the cosplay stuff that I do. But in terms of, cosplay as of late, MCM has been like Kriegsman or Steampunk or Ghostbuster, human-sized normal cosplays. MCM, May and October are pretty much the only ones we've been doing. I've done like one or two little ones in between, like Swansea and stuff. But eventually I want the Iron Warrior to come back. And in 2026, I'm hoping he'll be back in full force. And I'm really, really excited for it. But yeah, anyway, I'll show you guys one or two more. That one's probably one of my favorites. I love that one, just me holding my shovel. Richard Bird shooting cosplayers, by the way. Absolutely incredible. He's such a talented human being. Really, really talented. But yeah, with that being said, he took some amazing photos of me and my Kriegsman. With that being said, and we're talking about Kriegsman and stuff, that is the story of how the Iron Warrior came to be and how old he is and why I'm doing what I'm doing now with my Kriegsman rather than the Space Marine. But yeah, let me just check chat super quick. There's a few things happening. I do want to read some of these. The Krieg is so cool. My favorite guard regiment for sure. I really do like Krieg, mainly because of Ranger of Krieg. Before I fully gotten into the books of like Kriegsmen and stuff like Dead Men Walking, Krieg, and Siege of Rax that came out recently, Harry, Ranger of Krieg, was my entire knowledge about Krieg, and he was bang on. I'm not gonna lie to you, better than listening to the audiobook in my opinion. Yanovich even was my inspired Krieg cosplay. Really is awesome. He's a legend, and I'm sad to see him leaving the 40k scene, but I can absolutely 100% understand why. I was actually talking to him just before stream about it because I'd watched his video, and I think he's very, very like awesome for doing what he's doing. But I am going to be quite sad to see a fellow Kriegsman, just leave the scene, and he's sold a lot of his gear and stuff, and it's it's a bit sad to see. But if that's what he wants to do, that is what he wants to do. Let's get some music back on here. Quick double questions. Are there any other guardians that you'd want to make a costume of if you could? And also, how do you fit the beard into the mask? Right. Question 1, super easy. Yes, indeed. I would love to make a guardsman, like an Imperial guardsman, just a standard guardsman. I'd love to make the armor. I think the armor would be really cool. I want to make like a normal lasgun, just not a Krieg one, but just like a normal one, the boxy ones. I'd love to make one of them. That'd be really cool. And the helmet, I'd love the helmet. I would like to make a communications one. Now, the reason I want to make communications is one, you get to wear this big, fucking awesome backpack with like the the aerials and stuff on it like that and whatever. But what I would do is I would make it so that I can fit a boombox in it, and then I can play music from the boombox from my giant thing. And I'd also commission or get or find or whatever or create the audio files for like people like radioing in, being like, we need artillery over here, or orcs on the flanking from the left side or whatever like that. That kind of thing would be really cool. I think that'd be really awesome, but we'll see. Oh, you've literally answered, yeah, like a Acadian Vox operator. That's literally what I was saying. This giant Vox backpack thing would be really cool. Yeah, that kind of thing, or maybe a heavy weapons team, something cool like that. I'm not sure. Just something really awesome. I'd love to do that. Maybe at some point. Like I said, I'm going to focus on my Krieg for a bit. I'm just currently, right now, whoopsie daisy, working on the medic. So the medic version of my Krieg. So that's what I'm working on right now. Once the medic is done, and I've worn him a few times, wearing him at MCM in October. Hopefully then that'll get to the point where I can move on and make another cosplay. But hopefully next year will be maybe some Iron Warrior stuff mixed in with Krieg, mixed in with my Ghostbuster, do some events and do some cool shit like that. It'd be really, really awesome. The beard and the gas mask. Now, a lot of people ask me about my beard and my gas mask. How do I do it? The gas mask sits here. My chin is here. This is where my chin is, okay? I have quite like a longish face, right? So my chin comes down to about here, okay? So this is where my chin is. So if I do that, that's the shape of my face and my head and everything. I have a neck, what's it called, like a cowl, and I have my gas mask and my balaclava. So what I do is I will, before I put anything on, I will pull my balaclava down, and my balaclava pushes my beard down against my neck. So my beard is touching my neck the whole time. See it? It just pushes it back like that. So it fits like that. Then I put on my cowl, and the cowl goes over the balaclava, and what the cowl does is the cowl sits around my neck like that. See? It sits around my neck like that and holds my beard back. And then, when I get my gas mask sits on my chin here. So my beard is here. My beard is constantly just being pushed back. Right? That's how it sits. It sits like that. So people always ask. No, trust me, I shampoo and condition my beard, and my beard is very soft. People have come up to me before I get into cosplay. Has to be before, otherwise it gets very sweaty. And you don't want to touch a wet beard. It's like touching wet hair. Like if your hair gets wet, it's like touching wet hair. It doesn't get itchy at all because my beard is very soft. My beard is very soft. I always, always, always condition my beard. I love conditioning. I have beard oil as well, and I look after my beard. I love my beard. Big bushy beard. But yeah, my beard is difficult to hide in the gas mask as of late because of how big it's getting. But I do try my best to, touching wet hair is like touching. No, I mean, as in, because the texture of my beard is different to the texture of my hair. So my hair is like, you can really get your hand through it and everything. Whereas it's a bit more wispier and it's a bit thinner. But when it's wet with sweat, it clumps together and becomes just like strands of big sopping wet hair, depending how sweaty I get. In May, in like hot weather, I sweat. It's horrid, and I sweat, and I have to dry things out, and I steam clean stuff, or I'll try and Febreze stuff to try and make it not fucking stink. If I'm doing like a 3-day weekend, or I'm doing Krieg. And then when I get back, I have to wash my beard and everything and condition it again, and it's nice and soft. I was gonna grow a beard. Best I can get is darnable neck beard. If I don't shave for a couple of days, it looks awful. Neck beard's always difficult. I used to have a horrible neck beard, but I got rid of it. I keep shaving around here. Otherwise, I just have a neck beard. See? Just this horrible wispy stuff under there. They just get horrible wispy stuff under there if I don't have. So I just kept growing this, and now it's growing out. It's becoming a bit blonde or gingery in there, and I got my mustache. So by the way, I can do this with my mustache. I have long wispy bits. So if I gel it, I can actually make it curl upwards if I gel it or if I wet it a little bit. But I just tend to wear it down most of the time because it's just easier to keep out of the way. But yeah, I'm trying to get in the right place. So yeah, that is how I get my beard. So thank you for the 2 questions. I really appreciate that. But yeah, people think it's itchy, but no, my beard's nice and soft. I love a soft beard. It's just nice. Now, with that being said, talking about Krieg cosplay, I do want to show you guys this before we finish for the night. I have weathered my gas mask hose. My hose is now weathered, and I've put some of this tape on it to make it look even more weathered. I think that's really cool. For those of you who are wanting to know, this is hockey tape, like hockey grip tape, right? And it kind of stretches a little bit with it. I've had to make it so that it stretches a bit better with it. There are some little white bits that will show through if you pull it a little bit. See, there you go, some white will show through. So I just eventually be like, oh, there's some white showing in there, and I'll just paint it again. Once it's all painted, you'll be fine. It does saturate quite nicely, but I've weathered this because it was too clean and too new. I've even weathered the connector. The connector's all weathered and rusty and stuff, and I think it looks really nice. But with that being said, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Let me just get this ready. Let it load. Let me just check that super quick. That's cool. Getting used to a phone that I'm not really used to is so funny. Right, okay. All the way back to 0, set, and go to... There we go. Right. So, something cool I want to show you. This here is my old Death Core of Krieg chest box. This is the one I had for a long time. This one I've had the entire time. It's the only Death Core of Krieg chest box I have made and owned. I've made just a box, and I gave it away after I did the tutorial. And this is what it looks like. It has 2 LEDs here. Has some dials, which I was originally going to plan to try and make them so I can turn this on and off. I haven't done it. Maybe I'll do it because I'll use this as a backup. The hinges, I redid the hinges not that long ago because the foam ones I did originally broke and they just tore. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and it has a yellow LED there to make it look like an old gauge. See, quite cool, right? Just a little yellow LED, just simple LED. Also, right there, I have a Quilla. There's a Quilla laser etched into the bolt heads there, so it's got an Aquila laser etched into it. Now, I've recently been working on a new one. I've been posting stuff about it slowly. I've got it here, and not only have I got it here, let me just hide it a little bit from you guys. Not only have I got it here, but I've also finished it. It's completely done. Now, not only is it done and mounted to my Y harness, okay, but it has a special feature. And do you know what? I'll show you the special feature in a second, actually. First thing I'm going to do is show you it. This is my new Death Core of Krieg chest box. Okay. Now, much like the old one, it is brown with some weathering. The camera's not picking up the weathering very well. I might have to weather it a little bit better to show better on pictures. But it's got a greebly, it's got a flashing red LED, it's got the Aquila on the bolt heads again. It's got this little mesh grill. This is real metal. It's a real metal mesh grill. It also has this piece of plexi in the front here and a dial here. You can see that. Now, in the front of this, when you pop this open, there's some LEDs. And in the front of this goes this Galaxy phone. Like so. And the phone slots in like that. And when it's playing, it does that. This is my new Death Core of Krieg chest box with a rad meter. It's an old Soviet era Röntgen sort of rad gauge that I had animated by a very nice man who animated it for me. I put out a call for an animator, and he animated this for me, and it just loops. It's a 5-minute loop, of just the gauge jumping randomly up and down to different gauges. I told him not to make it go all the way to maximum, but it just goes up to about 6, just over 6, and then it goes back down. It doesn't click. I didn't want to do audio with it. I just thought audio would be just meh, because it's going to be so loud at the events I do anyway. No one ever hears audio unless it's from my Proton Pack, and I've got it turned all the way up. And that's got 225-watt speakers in it and a car amplifier, so, So this is what I've been working on, and it has a connector and everything. So the gas mask hose can connect to this. Just connect it up. It's a bit finicky because I painted it, so I need to clean the threads a little bit. There we go. I had to clean the threads a little bit because they're a bit gummed up with some paint and weathering. So yeah, the hose goes to the gas mask, and there it is. This is what I'll be wearing on my chest. The little door still has magnets. This time I used 2 pieces of large webbing to do this instead. My camera just glitched a little bit, and I don't know why. I'll have to figure out what's going on with my camera, but for now anyway, hopefully it won't crash. But yeah, that is cool, right? Now, what I've done is I've made this obviously removable, but inside, if you've watched my video on this, this is an old Galaxy. No, not Galaxy. Google Pixel 6 or something. I don't know. I don't know Google phones well enough. This phone was gifted to me by my girlfriend's brother. Thank you so much, Malcolm. Really appreciate it. Inside here was a little gap. And the little gap, let me just show you if I can show you as best I can. Right at the back here on this side, there's a... You can't really see it very well. There you go. There's like a little gap there. That gap holds my power bank. That power bank is over 10 years old. It's like 12 or 13 years old, I think. That power bank, I was like, I'm going to use this power bank. And I've been testing it and using it and playing with it and like setting it up and getting it all done and properly and everything. It died. It died 2 days ago. And I was like, God damn it. And I loved that power bank. And now that I've glued this all together and set up and everything, I've had to try and find another power bank that not only has the 2 connectors on the front, but also has the same thickness and length as my old power bank. And I've managed to find one. Super cheap too. Managed to find one. But I was meant to try and test it today, but I'm really gutted I've not been able to. Genuinely gutted I've not been able to. Because I'm still waiting for the power bank, which I wasn't originally. I was waiting for the cable at the time. And I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll just wait for the cable. So I was waiting for the cable. Let me just cut some of this fluff off. I was waiting for the cable. And now instead, I'm waiting for the power bank because the cable has arrived. The cable I bought is this. I wanted a short cable, a very short cable, with 90-degree USB and a 90-degree USB-C. So now this can go into the phone at a 90-degree angle. So when this sits like that, it'll sit... Hold on, yeah, there you go. Sits like that. So this, sorry, will sit like that. So this will sit upwards. And then this will go behind it, like that, to the power bank, right? And then this cable here, this bit here, can just be folded down with the lid or whatever, just be folded down out of the way. So that's why I bought this special 90-degree connector, because I tried one with my normal USB charger that I've got here. They're too long, it won't fit. There's not enough room in it. It's the same, it's the box size, the actual like size of this Death Core of Krieg box is identical in every single way to this box. They're both the same. They're the same box. The reason being is I just laser cut them. And the precision of a laser is it's a laser. So it'll just crack on and do what you want it to do. So I'm just like, cool, cut me a chest box. And it's like, okay, and I'll just glue it together. Ironwood cosplay. If I cosplay a Norn emissary, would you slay me asking for a friend? Ooh, god damn it. Asking for a friend? I need to stop doing that. Anyway, so yeah, that's the connector I've got. It's a little cable. Trying to find one, right, that's this length, just the shortest I could find, And both 90-degree connectors, that's good quality, that's braided and everything, difficult. Fuck me, it was difficult. It wasn't fun. It took like 3 hours altogether trying to fucking go through everything and just whatever. Big bug, big stills. So that's what I've done. That's what I've been working on, is my new chest box. So the chest box, by the way, isn't for my medic. As in, people were like, "Oh, you're making a new chest box? Is that for your medic cosplay?" And I was like, "No. It's just for." I've built the battery box too well. The battery. Nope. I've built the battery box for this damn thing so well that I can't get my 9-volt out without needing a tool. There we go. That's how I get my 9-volt. I can't get out otherwise. Luckily, I take my cosplay toolbox with me. It has pliers and stuff in it, so it's fine. I have to watch out with this particular power cell battery because this got hot not long ago when I was working on stuff for my Krieg medic. So everything is together. It's mounted. It's ready to go. I'm really excited to try it out on my Krieg. I still actually want to do a cos test before I go to MCM. But one last thing, for those of you who haven't been here, this is what I've been building for my Krieg medic. This is my Medicae gauntlet, and this fits on my arm. It fits better when I have the trench coat. That's why the hole is so big. Why it's so big. But this is quite clever. This little panel at the back here, you pop open with a magnet. It's got a magnet. There's a gabler. There's a 9-volt battery connector gabler. You put this into the little slot there so it stays out of the way. Put that back on. Then you have a blinking LED there and some LEDs here. Cool, right? It just sits there, and I can. Oh, sorry, it sits on the left arm, and then I can look at the LEDs here, and I can be like, oh no, and then I can click these. I can just. It's got a little mini chainsaw on it. Normally, by the way, these have knives on them, but I was like, I'm gonna make this my own, and I'm gonna do a little mini chainsaw. I think that's brilliant. By the way, Diabolical, I still have that football you sent me that I'm going to turn into an alien laser pistol. I still need to do that. It's been years. Jesus Christ. Medic cross is too funny. Oh yeah, the little medic cross on it, and look, same with these. Cool, right? Yeah, so that's for my Krieg medic. I need to get some medic tools and stuff like that done. But oh wait, where is it? Oh my god, hold on, there's one more thing I want to show you guys. Oh, I know where it is. Bear with me 2 seconds. I have to go grab something super quick because I want to show you guys before I end stream. It does involve some climbing, so if you hear me fall, come help. This is the spanner, the adjustable spanner or wrench that I made for my Deathcore of Krieg toolbox. And as you can see, it's a wrench, and it also this lovely resin printed little doodad that looks like an adjuster for an adjustable spanner was 3D printed for me by my friend Andrew. Thanks so much. And this little fidget toy. I absolutely love it. And this is the other spanner I made recently for my Deathcore of Krieg cosplay. It's a big spanner. So there's the difference, just to show you. That's the difference. That's the difference. There's this chunky. It's big chunky. The reason being was I saw an image, which I will show you guys. It's on Facebook. I'll show you. It's on my cosplay page. In the album, believe it or not. And I know where the album is, because I literally used it. If you look at that, right? If you look at that, and then look at me for a second. Look at me, I'm the captain now. Right? If you look at that and then look at me, I'll make myself a touch bigger. Do you see that? See where his hand is? Right? Do you see where his hand is? Do you see the size? So what I did was, if you look at the head of the spanner on his, if you look at the head here, from here to here, right? And you measure that against his hand, it's like bigger than his hand. This one can hide behind my fist. That one doesn't look like it can hide behind his fist at all, right? So I was like, held that in my hand, held that in my left hand, kind of copied the angle he's doing, except he's holding it in his other hand. Like, copying the angle he was doing. I was like, okay. I got the measurements from a friend of mine who has a prop one of these, like a fake one. And I was like, I need to make a bigger one. So I made this. This is 30 mil. I was going to Dremel it, but I thought it looks cooler just like this. And I thought, well, I might as well have both, because they might need this for something, but they need this for the big guns. I did also make the little screw for it again. This one doesn't turn. Sorry, I got hiccups. This one doesn't turn, but it has got laser etch details and stuff in it, and I made a really thin strip to go around it. So yeah, it is a big ass spanner or wrench or whatever the hell you want to call it. It is huge, because you got this like that. Let me move that a little bit. You got this, then you got that, and you can see it's, you know, that's why I did that TikTok that's like, oh, look at the little baby, now look at the big baby. So yeah, I've built those ready for MCM. Built this, sorry, ready for MCM. It's going in the Krieg toolbox for my engineer, because I'm doing my engineer and I'm super hyped. Cannot wait. Jinx Games, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just about to finish. I do apologize. But I do want to show you guys one more thing. Not only am I a creator MCM, I've also put this up to show you guys what I'm cosplaying. I'm doing the Deathcore Engineer on Friday, so I'll have all my tools with me, my backpack with my sledgehammer, my pickaxe, my axe. Everything will be on my back. I'll have my new chest box. I'll have the same shoulders and everything, so I'll be my engineer with the faceplate and everything. Engineer all day Friday. Saturday, I'll be my Krieg medic. We also have the Warhammer meetup on the Saturday as well. So for my Krieg medic, I'll be carrying my medic bag around with the new shoulders, the probably normal gas mask. I'll be carrying around my Medicaid gauntlet on my arm, and some bits and bobs like that with the giant syringe and everything. So that'll be really cool. And then on Sunday, we've got top secret, confidential. No one gets to know. So yeah, he's gonna have Friday engineer, so this essentially, but with the new box and the shotgun and everything. Saturday medic. I don't have a photo of my medic, so that's what you're gonna get. And then Sunday, top secret cosplay, ready for the final day of MCM. Essentially, I don't know if I'll be around long Sunday in cosplay, because Sunday normally for me is cosplay a little bit in the morning and then just enjoy the rest of the con. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, one of these days I'll make it to one of the English conventions, but I've never been outside the US before. Do you know what's really funny is I've always said I might go to a con in another country somewhere, not necessarily America, maybe like Germany or France or somewhere like that. I don't know. The only downside is transporting even the Krieg. Like, obviously I wouldn't take the Space Marine, no chance. I'd have to actually be a part of the event. They'd have to like hire me to be able to bring my stuff over, because the amount of like money to just even think about crating him up and getting him over and stuff is not happening. But like the Krieg, for example, fits in a suitcase. You know, the props on the other hand, like the guns, the las gun or whatever, that's different. I probably have to do a lot of like maybe a gun bag, then like put like stickers on the side of it, nice and clear, plain text, just white and black text with like prop weapons, you know, prop cosplay, fake weapons, you know, cosplay gun, not even gun, just cosplay weapons, cosplay props, fake props, you know, that kind of thing, and make sure that I call ahead and tell them like, hey, by the way, I'm carrying like fake guns, and you know it's difficult. Can't wait to see you cosplay in person and the new props when I see you with Atom. Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you, Jinx. I really appreciate it. Do you know we were just talking about you, by the way? Just talking about you, by the way. look at the size. Look at the size difference. Literally, my favorite thing to do, like I did in the start of my video, is this. Hold on, it's that. It's like, hey, check it out. This is my new prop spanner. Oh, by the way, there's one behind it. Yeah, I think it's really funny. But yeah, really looking forward to that. I'm Cosplay. Sorry, I had to step away for work. Did you say? I do still have those, by the way, but I also still have the football you sent me. I'm gonna turn that into a laser gun at some point, like an alien laser gun. If we go overseas for a convention, I'll probably not bring my Krieg, even if it's done by then. I'll probably go as Columbo, unless the convention Warhammer focused. Yeah, fair. I try to go for like bigger conventions like Warhammer focused or something, but it doesn't have to be Warhammer focused. It's just good to go to Warhammer focused ones because then you know your audience are going to be there. Whereas if I go to like I got asked to go to an anime convention in my Space Marine twice, and turning up to an anime convention in a Space Marine makes you feel dumb as hell. But you do tell them like, no, they've hired me. I'm here because they asked me to be, rather than I'm here on my own accord, because I wouldn't go to an anime convention dressed in a Space Marine or a Krieg. I want to go to a furry con dressed in my Krieg though. Get some really funny photos of me like hunting. Be really funny. But anyway, hey, can I just say a massive thank you to everyone who's come here to listen to me talk about the Space Marine, the Iron Warrior. I'm really, really happy to say that, you know, the Space Marine, yeah, he's, you know, another year older tomorrow, but in my heart, he will always be my wee boy, my grey pile of foam on top of a table. He's always been a big part of my life, and he always will be. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for being here. I really, really am grateful for everyone who decided to turn up tonight to listen to me talk and show off some props and stuff. Like I said, it was a special stream because it's the Iron Warrior's birthday tomorrow. But genuinely, you guys have been amazing. I have been Iron Warrior Cosplay. And I really, really do hope you all enjoy your night, your evening, your day, whatever it is. Please be sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. !Discord in the chat if you haven't already. And also, if you haven't, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell notification, do the thing. I don't always do that. I've been trying to remind myself to do it, but it's been difficult. But until then, and until next time, thank you so much. I've been Iron Warrior Cosplay. I shall see you all again soon. Bye for now.